Okay, so it took a little bit of work getting this going because for a while I was trying to decide if I wanted to mod the game a little bit to make it easier to do some of the stuff I want to do here. But starting today, we are going to go back and retell the story of my Pokemon player character, Hiro, because as I mentioned at the beginning of my Sword and Shield playthrough and at other times throughout the playthrough, I always headcanon the character to be the same person going from game to game, and seeing as how this is technically the first story in his overall arc, I decided I'd give a little bit of an updated introduction to the character here. I'd honestly never really considered what order his adventures would actually be in, because I know that there's like a canon order of events for the various Pokemon games, that they do happen in a specific order. Like, for example, the Gen 1 and Gen 3 core games technically take place at the same time, which means theoretically it should be impossible for one person to have all of those adventures, even though my character's story technically starts at the second generation. But, I mean, hey, Ash Ketchum can have versions of all those adventures in the same order that the games came out, so I figure I can decide arbitrarily the order of my adventures, too, in my own little Pokemon Pocket universe. So I decided I'm just gonna start with Gen 2, or the Gen 2 remakes in this case, that being the generation that I feel like I started my Pokemon adventure on, and then I'm gonna go from there in order of how old the player character seems to be. So I'm gonna go from this to Gen 3 to Gen 4, and then Gen 7 after that. Since I don't actually mention anything from Gens 5 or 6 in character in Sword and Shield, and then I'm going to say Gen 6 happens after that, followed by Gen 5. Because if I'm not mistaken, the player character in Black and White is the oldest player character we've ever gotten in the franchise. So there you go, that's the order of events for my particular weird playthrough. And as I am going to try to keep this as accurate to my first playthrough as is possible on an emulator of a remake of that game, I am going to go out of my way to make sure certain things are accurate, such as specific Pokemon that I kept on my team at specific points in time, the genders of those Pokemon. I'm not going to worry about natures, because natures weren't really a thing back then, and even though the versions of those Pokemon that I first got when I played through HeartGold still exist and they do have natures, I have no idea what the natures of those original Gen 2 Pokemon would have been had I transferred them up to Gen 3. So I'm not going to worry about natures. I am going to worry about genders, though, so that these Pokemon feel as authentic to my original experience as possible. And if, for example, there is enough DLC added to Sword and Shield that I'm able to eventually transfer up my Gen 2 remake Pokemon and include them in that modern game, they'll just have different natures than they had here. Now, this does mean that there's going to be a lot of hunting for the right genders and soft resetting that happens off screen. I know that I am not looking forward to any of that, but that I'm doing this for you guys. I'm going to try to stay in character as much as possible in these, and I don't know, I guess my initial reactions to stuff, but there will be times when I speak out of character and explain the choices that I'm making, because I am trying to emulate the way that I played when I was a small child. Okay, here we go. I always forget about stuff like this. I don't care. I don't need info. Go away. Which button enters? I can click on it. Oh, I guess it's gonna be A, isn't it? Whatever A is. Okay. It's been a long time since I played with emulator. My god. Looks like the sun is descending in the sky. So, this would be what is called Twilight, wouldn't it? Nah. Twilight's way worse than this, man. Believe me, I've read them. Sorry to keep you waiting. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Oak, but everyone calls me the Pokemon Professor as if I'm the only one, and that's how I like to think of myself. Before we go any further, I'd like to tell you a few things you should know about this world. I guarantee I know them already. This world is widely inhabited by creatures known as Pokemon. Hey, it's a Peekaboo! You guys remember the Peekaboo thing? That was wild, wasn't it? We humans live alongside Pokemon as friends. At times we play together, and at other times we work together. Some people use their Pokemon to battle and develop closer bonds. Because that's the only way to develop closer bonds with someone, is to make them fight people for you. Yeah, okay, got it. Now, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? Are you a boy or a girl? I mean, that's a more binary choice than I tend to prefer, but sure. So you're a boy then? Technically? Please, tell me your name. And you guys already know my name. My name is there a lowercase? Yeah. Is Hiro. Because that was the default, well, one of the default player character names in the original Gold version, and I liked it a lot. Your name is Hiro, yeah? Literally just said that, old man. Hiro, are you ready? Your very own tale of grand adventure is about to unfold. Fun experiences, difficult experiences. There's so much waiting for you. You shouldn't use the same word twice in a sentence, buddy. It doesn't sound good. Dreams, adventure. Let's go to the world of Pokemon. I'll see you later. And I turn into a chibi Hiro. Alright, it is going to take me a few minutes to get used to using the emulator. I also need to go into my settings and increase text speed. I don't think I've actually ever read this. Oh, thanks, Lyra. Very, very insightful. Dear God. Lyra is a new character. She was added for this particular game. I think she's supposed to be based on the female player character that was added with Pokemon Crystal version. That's another thing I probably should have gone over in the intro to this, is that any third version or like updated version events that I think fit well enough into the canon of the original game that I played first, I just incorporate them into my character's story. So like was like the Battle Tower new to Crystal, I think. So the Battle Tower would be part of my character's original journey, right? Stuff like that. Or like expanded legendary encounters or the presence of both teams in Gen 3. Like the Emerald version of the story. I consider that part of Hiro's story, even though I originally played Rupee version, if that makes sense. Alright, let's get out of here. Hi, Hiro. You're finally awake. Hi, Mom. I'm sure you will always look like this forever and will never change appearance each time we move to a new region. Your friend Lyra was just here. She was playing hide-and-seek with her Meryl. Neat. Oh, I almost forgot. Our acquaintance, Professor Elm, was looking at the dialogue, and this is bad. Dialogue in Pokemon games is bad in general, though. I need to stop harping on it. He said he had a favor to ask of you. You know where the lab is, right? Of course I do. I've lived here my whole life. It's right next door to things. As you know, you can find Professor Elm's lab just down the street on the left. By the way, do you have everything you need to go out? Here, use this bag to carry things. Is that what you use a bag for, Mom? Is that what bags are for? I never would have guessed. Thanks for telling me. And I get a trainer card even though I'm not a trainer yet. Alright. Saving is nice. I don't actually know how to use save states in this either, which is going to be interesting. I don't know how to use, how do I get down there into that menu? Which button's X? This is going to be a fun journey of discovery for all of us. I didn't read half of what she just said there because I legit didn't care. Which button's X? There's X, okay. So, options, let's go to options. Text speed fast. Because, dear God in heaven. Also, let's save. Does this work? I don't know. We'll find out. I guess. I really don't want to have to do all this over again, though. Oh, I forgot how slow saving was. Back in the day. Oh, dear God in heaven. My God! Why? Why did that used to take so long? I can't run yet, either. Alright. What a nice day here in my definitive hometown. The only hometown that this character's ever had. And she's just gone. Should I go back in there and tell Mom that I don't actually like Lyra very much? Hello. Hi, Hiro. My husband's always so busy. I hope he's okay. When he's caught up in his Pokemon research, he even forgets to eat. Yeah, I get that. I get that way sometimes about stuff. Hello. When I grow up, I'm going to help my dad. I didn't even know the guy had a family. I don't think I ever come up here before. I'm going to be a great Pokemon professor. You're probably not. I mean, I haven't heard of you. Like, add a character. I don't think that kid actually exists as a character aside from just that one place. That would be cool if he like came back as a young professor later on. What's this? Someone spying on the professor? Excuse me, I don't think you should be here, conspicuous red-haired boy. It's about the protagonist, am I right? So this is the famous Elm Pokemon Lab. What are you staring at? Well, you are quite rude, sir. But I shall leave you to your own devices. I, Hiro, am not the kind of person who would get up in someone else's business. Hello, Professor. Hi, Hiro. I've been waiting for you. And do you know anything about my research? As you know, Pokemon are carried in Pokeballs these days, as opposed to when we used to just tie them to rocks and then throw the rocks into the middle of the battlefield. But before the Pokeball was invented, people used to walk with Pokemon, just like your friend Lyra does. People still do that, though. I mean, I knew a kid who walked around with his Pikachu. It just followed him around. It was kind of weird. Pokeballs are great because you can carry many Pokemon, but walking with Pokemon must have some advantages. Yeah, I mean, I guess your Pokemon, if it's a data form on a machine, isn't going to age as fast as it would walking around. So you'd like have an older and more experienced Pokemon faster, maybe? It could have something to do with how Pokemon grow or evolve. Oh yeah, he's the guy who's like all about evolution, isn't he? So I'm going to give you a Pokemon. Oh. Well, then I should probably stop bad-mouthing you now, because I would like that to happen. Yeah, can you walk beside this Pokemon outside of its Pokeball to see if this brings any special feelings or bonds between Pokemon and people? Yeah, sure, I guess. The device over there has some Pokemon you can choose from. Oh, hey! I got an email! Now I can make the text go faster. I'm going to do that from now on. Okay. Hey, listen! Hey, listen! Hey, listen! I have this acquaintance that people call Mr. Pokemon. He keeps finding weird things and raving about his discoveries, kind of like I do, which is why it's weird that I'm disparaging this person. Anyway, I just got an email from him saying that this time it's real. So he's like a conspiracy theorist type. Okay, good to know. It's probably another Pokemon egg. I'm pretty sure in the original, didn't he say something like that implied that Pokemon eggs were a new discovery because that was the first game that had breeding in it? I think that's how it was, even though this dialogue makes more sense because people would already know how Pokemon bred at that point. But we're still so busy with our Pokemon research. Wait, I know. You can go in our place, right? No? I'm a 10-year-old small child. I'm not going to go participate in dangerous research. Are you kidding me? That is the thing that I would never start to do habitually. Except you are giving me a Pokemon, so I guess it's the least I can do in return. But just this one time. You can count on me. You can choose one of the Pokemon over there. Yeah, I've kind of figured I'm gonna save the game so I can make sure I get the right Pokemon. Oh dear God, I forgot again how long this takes. Dear Lord. Aha. And here we go, my first ever Pokemon. I only had to reset a couple of times too. Is going to be a female Totodile. And I didn't call her this immediately because I didn't nickname my Pokemon back when I was playing through. Like the very first time I played, but I did eventually give them nicknames after I started to see the benefit of it with my Eevee that I got from Bill in Gold version. And eventually I named her Jaws. So this, I'll go and actually look at her in a second. Yeah, it's the nickname I want. Let's see what Elm has to say. I also don't think I actually hit confirm when I told it to go fast text speed, because this doesn't look like fast text speed. I'm going to have to go back into options again and check that. How do you like walking with your Pokemon? It's not bad, is it? You can take it all the way to Mr. Pokemon's house. I mean, I assumed I could, because that's what you told me to do with it. I mean, I may be a layman about Pokemon, but it seems like you're talking down to me a little bit, Professor. If your Pokemon gets hurt, you should heal it with this machine. It's so easy to use. Just check the PC on my desk. You don't have to put the Pokeball in those little divots. Just check the PC and it'll magically appear there. Mr. Pokemon goes everywhere and finds rarities. His house is past Cherry Grove City. Go north a little past Cherry Grove. I'm counting on you, Hiro. Thanks, Professor. I'll try not to let you down, even though I have literally no experience with this at all. Let's go in here and check out Jaws. If I'm not mistaken, the Jaws that I got in my version of the playthrough that happened in my HeartGold playthrough the first time was Bashful nature, but again, nature doesn't matter. Because that Pokemon still does exist. And I'm not 100% sure I could transfer it all the way up to where I would need to have it to transfer it up to Sword if Totodile and its entire line were in Sword, but I think I can, and assuming that I can, if the Totodile line is ever added to Sword, we will see that version of Jaws. But this is a slightly different version of Jaws, and it's okay. Because again, like I said before, the gender is all that really matters. Because that was the new feature in Gen 2. Pokemon had genders suddenly. I'm going to save again. Even though, by God, I do not want to. And I probably should have updated my options first. Dear Lord. Alright. Yeah, finally. Let's go in here and fix this. Yeah, it didn't take before. Oh, I forgot you can do this, too. It's, here's a pink one, which fits my channel aesthetic. I like that green, too. Oh, no, I like that. I like that one, because that's like the gold one. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, let's save again. No, I'm kidding. Except I'm not. Dear Lord, this takes forever. Taking it for granted how much faster options are in later games. Oh. Hey. Hiro, I want you to have these to help with your task. Potions. Neat. Can't get Pokeballs yet, because I have to complete my first task of the game first. Can't have me catching a whole roster already. Pokemon are weak in the beginning. Don't hesitate to use a potion if you think yours is in danger. I'm not playing a challenge or a Nuzlocke, so, I mean, yeah. Let's get out of here at an agonizingly slow pace. Oh, hi, Lyra. Please go away. Hiro! So you picked a Totodile! That's a cute Pokemon you have. I don't care if you think it's cute. Please just leave me alone. When you walk with it, it'll become more friendly. You should turn around and talk to it sometimes. Yes, I've played Pokemon Yellow version, Lyra. Please let me go. Oh, that's right. Why don't you show it to your mom? I mean, I was gonna. She's my mom, Lyra. See ya. Thank you. God. Oh, God. Meryl, leave. She'll come back. Ugh. Frickety frack. Oh, no. Go in the door. Dumb butt. Hey, Mom. I'm sure this isn't something that you're going to have to get used to happening every so often. Oh, Hiro, that's a cute Pokemon you have. Why does everybody care that my Pokemon's cute? I just care that it's got big bitey teeth. Professor Elm must have given it to you. And that's a question somehow. Oh, Professor Elm has a task for you, you say? What kind of task? Ellipses, ellipses, ellipses. I see, that sounds a little difficult. Yeah, just a little, though. Like, I'm walking down the street. It's fine. But when someone makes that kind of request of you, it must be important. Oh, that's right, I completely forgot. Your Pokegear came back from the repair shop. Here you go. And I get the Pokegear. I don't know why I didn't have the Pokegear yet, why it needed to be added to my inventory now, but whatever. Yeah, I know what it is. It's fine. Guess what? You can use the Pokegear to make a phone call, too. I know, I'm not just now getting this, Mom. Yes. I mean, Hiro does. I'll have to figure it out again. But Hiro remembers. Oh, dear God, she's telling me anyway? Oh, my God. Oh, Sword and Shield really spoiled us, didn't it? I'm just gonna leave. Can I leave now? Don't have the stinking running shoes yet. When do I get those? I don't even remember. It's been a while since I played this game. Hello, I have no idea what you're going to say. Yeah. Really wish I had the running shoes. Wait a second! Okay. I just want to leave. Oh, yeah, right. That is probably important, huh? Thanks, buddy. You got any running shoes? No? Alright. Let's walk at an agonizingly slow pace. So, yeah, I guess I should introduce myself. I'm Hiro. I'm gonna be throwing you at other animals. Sorry about that. Oh, here's an example of that. Hey, look, it's worse for Tata. No, I'm gonna give crap to the weak Gen 2 Pokemon, but I want to be clear, I actually really like the Gen 2 roster. I like the designs of these guys a lot. I just think some of them are kind of weak sauce. It had Norenberry. Great. He's only doing like 1 to 3 HP worth of damage, though. Wow. Pokemon battling is way more exciting than I thought it was going to be. I hope we get to do that exact style of battling many more times. Hello, person. Hey, how are your Pokemon? If they're weak and not ready for battle, keep out of the tall grass. Thanks, friend, for that helpful advice. Can I go this way? No? Alright. Now I have to walk, like, really slow back in the other direction. Can I like avoid the grass here? Nope. Nope. I'm always gonna be in the grass somewhere. Alright. Should've just gone the other way, man. And this is, if I'm not mistaken... Let's find out if I'm right before I embarrass myself by being wrong. Yeah, I'm gonna want to come back here later. Alright. I walk so slow. Like, there wasn't running shoes in Sword and Shield, but that made sense because you had the little joystick, right? Alright, let's talk to this guy. I wanted to take a break, so I saved to record my progress. Haha, meta. That's so meta. I know I'm being kind of a cynical jackass, because I'm a cynical jackass, but this route's very nostalgic to me. As are apricorns. I'm very, very glad that, oh, I don't have the bag yet, do I? I'm very glad that they're bringing back apricorns in one of the Sword and Shield DLCs. I'm waiting for Pokemon that only appear at night. The day and night thing was so super cool too, because I had played a little bit of Pokemon before I got my gold version. I had played other people's games. Like, they wouldn't let me... Oh, yeah, this is stupid. Hold on a second. I want to finish the story before I start doing the old band voice again. I had played, like, other people's games, and I just hadn't saved, you know? So I had played a little bit of Pokemon. And sometimes I would play for hours, because my friends were pretty cool people. I would play for hours, and I'd get pretty far in the games. And then eventually I did play through Pokemon Yellow version. In fact, I'm going to do my best to catch a Pikachu later on in this playthrough, because I did eventually transfer up my Yellow version Pikachu to Gold version and play through part of Gold version with a Pikachu. But I did play through Yellow version eventually, so I did play a Gen 1 game. But, my point is, even though this is technically my first complete Pokemon game that I ever played through, the day and the night thing did kind of blow my mind when I first booted this up. You're a rookie trainer, aren't you? I can tell. That's okay, everyone is a rookie at some point. If you'd like, I can teach you a few things. Okay, then follow me. I didn't say yes, man. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that you weren't wearing the running shoes. Okay. I'll try to go as slow as possible. No, just give me some running shoes so I can keep up with you. I don't want it to go slow. Dear God. This is a Pokemon Center. They heal your Pokemon in no time at all for free because, just like everywhere else except for the United States of America, we have universal healthcare in the Pokemon world. This is where you buy shit. This is a path. You walk on it. Mr. Pokemon's house is this way, thanks. This is where I plan to set out to and float aimlessly when it's time for me to die in a few weeks. It's water, in case you couldn't tell. This is my house. There are flowers near to it. I like it. Here, have these old dirty shoes. I get it, it's fine. Please go away. And I'm pretty sure, how do I do this? I click it, I can click it. And, why am I not moving? That was weird. Okay, I'm moving now, though. Okay, good. Now I'm running. Thank God. Alright. I guess I got hurt a little bit, so I'll go heal real quick. Hello, and welcome to the Pokemon Center. We restore your tired Pokemon to full health. Dear God. So I'm back to the stumbling over my words thing. That's good to know. Would you like to rest your Pokemon? Yeah, that's why I'm here, literally. Okay, I'll take your Pokemon for a few seconds. And watch this Pokeball randomly change sizes. It's magic! We restored your Pokemon to full health. Please come back again anytime. At least she doesn't say we hope to see you again. Hey, let me downstairs. I'm very sorry. We are working underground right now. It's off limits to the public. Please try later on. Well, I'm sure I'll never be important enough that I feel entitled to be let in, even though no one else is being let in. So I'll just leave without complaint. And I can buy potions at this point. Can't buy Pokeballs though, so I'm not gonna worry about it. This is a nice little town though. Like, okay, towns in Pokemon, towns in all RPGs of this style. It's not just limited to Pokemon games. They're way smaller than they should be. You just have to assume that there's like 4 other houses or 5 other houses for each house you see, right? That you're just seeing like a sample size of the full town, right? Keeping that in mind. Oh, it's getting dark. Keeping that in mind, this is a nice little town. All right, let's get up this way. Oh my God! Oof, oof, I made it. I forgot about one thing. This is another token from me. Take it. The guide gent loaded the map card in Hiro's Pokegear. You can now show the town map. Select the Pokegear on the touchscreen and then select that town map icon. You'll see the map of the region you're currently in. The Pokegear becomes more useful as you add cards, which is a little different than how the Pokegear was in the original version. In the original version, it was just like the name for a menu with a bunch of cool stuff in it. They're treated more like apps, and I like that. That's very cool. Nice way to modernize the game without actually changing any core functionality. Alright, Route 30, let's go. Hey, there's an item. Hey, there's a Pokemon. It's a Metapod, aka a punching bag. Let's go, Jaws. Let's get some free experience points. And it hardened, of course. Because all phallic-shaped animals should have abilities called Harden. It's going to keep hardening, too, which makes it very annoying to deal with. But even if it takes a little while, it is free experience, because this thing cannot hurt me back. And there's no experience candies or raids that give you free rare candies in this game. And you could get an experience share later, but there's no, like your entire party doesn't get experience from everything. There's not even catch experience in this game. So leveling up is going to be slow in this game. I want as much experience as I can get, because again, Sword version has spoiled me rotten, and I'm actually dreading going back to a game where gaining experience is not as easy anymore. Going higher, good. We're doing only like 1 HP of damage, but it looks like it's only got like 2 or 3 HP left. We should be fine. Yeah, 1 more hit should do it. These things are technically an evolved Pokemon, so they give pretty good experience, too. Yeah, look at that. Level up. Booyah. Learned Water Gun. Excellent. Totodile and his subsequent evolutions are more physical than special, but still, Water Gun's good. And, I didn't really care about physical versus special back in the day, because this, like Gen 2 was before the physical special split anyway. But like, I just didn't care. I didn't care about optimizing how much damage my Pokemon could do, and like his special's not that bad, and having special moves to deal with physically bulky guys is still good. And also, I have to surf in this game, so I'm gonna have to give him some special moves anyway. Hello. Oh, you're wearing the running shoes. They make you feel like you're flying, don't they? No. They make me feel like I'm running. But beware of wild Pokemon and trainers. When you run, the noise will attract them. I think that's such a cool way to balance what was at the time a new item, you know? Alright, let's go in here. To this game, at least. Did we get running shoes before this in a different game? Maybe, I don't remember. People usually come to my house looking for Mr. Pokemon's house. You did mean to visit my house, right? How kind of you. Do you have any apricorns? Apricorn trees bear fruit once a day. I have one of those trees too. Apricorn's really something. You can make Pokeballs and other things. I mean, you can kind of make other things, I guess, in this game, but no. You make Pokeballs out of them and they're awesome. They're quite useful. I have a feeling this is meant to be. I'm so happy I'll give you this gift. Apricorn box. Alright, cool. Now I can pick apricorns, because apparently I wasn't physically capable of carrying them before. Let's go, Totodile. Get this green apricorn. Just gotta massage the tree until the apricorn comes out of its tip. Just looking at that water there. For no particular reason, either. Antidote. You know, I was really worried I wouldn't remember this game well once I got into it, but I really do. Hey, look, there's some guys having a battle. Can't go that way, then, I guess. I wouldn't want to interrupt them. A Pokemon can use its moves as long as the moves still have power points. When a move has no power points remaining, that Pokemon cannot use that move. Yes, one of those things does follow directly from the other. Then you should take your Pokemon to the Pokemon Center. Alright, pretty sure these both just lead to the same place. Yeah. Hey, another apricorn. Pink apricorn. I don't remember what each of these do either. So I guess we're gonna have fun rediscovering that. Like, I know the white one's the fastball, right? Which is real good for catching the roaming legendaries. You must be Hiro. It was I who sent an email to Professor Elm earlier. Thanks. I kinda gathered. This is what I want Professor Elm to examine. The mystery egg. Alright. And now, I don't think we ever find out why the egg is a mystery in this game, unless, like, Togepi wasn't a known Pokemon yet, or something. Or, like, they found it, but they didn't know who the parents were, or whatever. But, like, in the original Gen 2 games, because Pokemon eggs were a new discovery, that's why it was mysterious. A friend of mine from Ekritik gave it to me. I bet you I can't find this kind of egg in Johto. I thought Professor Elm might be able to tell what this is. He's the best when it comes to the research of Pokemon evolution, which is why I think he might know something about Pokemon breeding. Those things definitely go together. I mean, they kind of do in a roundabout way, I guess. Though, this is a different kind of evolution that... I don't know. I don't know why they thought Elm would know about this. I guess just because he's the professor? That's a quote from the famous Professor Oak. You are returning to Professor Elm? Yep. Here, your Pokemon should have some rest. They really don't. Well, my one single Pokemon really doesn't need rest. Take your time there, bud. And with that, I'm Professor Oak, a Pokemon researcher. So you're Hiro. I was just visiting my friend Mr. Pokemon. I heard you were running an errand for Professor Elm, so I waited here. Oh, what's this? A rare Pokemon. I see. You must be helping Professor Elm's research. I think I understand why. Professor Elm gave you that Pokemon. You will treat your Pokemon with love and care, it seems. Ah. You seem to be dependable. How would you like to help me out? Seems that's just a thing I do now, alright. See, this is the latest version of the Pokédex. It automatically records data on Pokemon you've seen or caught. It's a high-tech encyclopedia. I'd like you to have it. What's an encyclopedia? You mean like a Wikipedia? And go meet many kinds of Pokemon and complete that Pokédex. Probably not gonna do that. But I've stayed too long. I have to get to Goldenrod for my usual radio show. Really like Goldenrod. I'm excited to get there. Hiro, I have a feeling that this is not the last time we'll meet. And let's exchange numbers, just to be on the safe side. Alright, sure. Getting numbers from lots of old men today. It's a weird way to phrase that. Can I leave now? Yeah, I can leave now. And that's probably where I'm going to end this episode. It's a little longer than these videos are typically going to go. But I think this is a pretty good stopping point. There wasn't really a good stopping point prior to this. So, there you go.